A quiet street of pastel-painted terraced houses in Clapham, South London. Number 27 stood out only for its well-kept garden and the faint sound of classical piano drifting from an open window on Sunday afternoons. Inside lived Brenlin, a 20-year-old with a flair for digital art and a growing Instagram following. Her 16-year-old sister Emily, a quiet A-level student with a passion for astrophysics, and their mother, a primary school teacher known for her calm authority and unwavering belief in dignity. Brenlin's signature look, a soft light blue top paired with matching light blue tailored trousers, was as much a part of her identity as her phone. She posted daily coffee art, outfit grids, and relatable family moments, always edited to perfection. Her mother never objected to her creativity, only to one rule: never post anything that makes your family look foolish without asking. Emily rarely spoke up, but she watched. She admired Brenlin's confidence, yet winced whenever her sister turned private moments into public jokes. Their household ran on unspoken British values: privacy, restraint, and the quiet understanding that family came before performance. It began after a simple Saturday dinner of cottage pie and steamed carrots. Brenlin snapped 2 photos. One of her mother mid-yawn, eyes closed, mouth open in exhaustion. Another of Emily slouched on the sofa, glasses crooked, hair in a messy bun, scribbling equations in a notebook. Back in her room, she opened her editing app. With playful swipes, she transformed her mother into a cartoonish figure. Googly eyes, buck teeth, and a speech bubble. When your daughter asks for rent money again, weary face. Emily became a mad scientist. Frizzy hair, oversized goggles, caption: my sister thinks black holes are easier to understand than boys' skull, #nerdlife. She posted the carousel to her Instagram story with family dinner equals free entertainment, face with tears of joy, #relatable. By morning it had spread. Aunts, uncles, even neighbors had seen it. Her mother received a call from her sister in Croydon. You let her post that? It's humiliating. At breakfast, Emily pushed her porridge around her bowl, silent. Their mother sipped her tea, eyes tired but steady. When Brenlin laughed at a comment, your mum looks possessed, her mother finally spoke. You embarrassed your sister. You mocked me. And you did it for strangers. It's just a joke, Brenlin protested. No one takes it seriously. Emily does, her mother said softly. And I do. That afternoon, golden autumn light filled the living room. Emily stood by the bay window, hands resting on the sill, watching as their mother called Brenlin in for a talk that would change everything. You broke a core rule of this house, her mother said, standing in her cream cardigan and sensible loafers. You used your sister's image for laughs. You turned my exhaustion into a caricature. And you did it without consent. Brenlin opened her mouth to argue, but the look in her mother's eyes silenced her. This wasn't about anger. It was about consequence. In our family, her mother continued, when trust is broken in a serious way, there is discipline. Not to shame you, but to remind you of your responsibility. She walked to her bedroom and returned with a smooth, dark, wooden paddle, her grandmother's, kept for rare, serious moments. Brenlin's breath hitched. At 20, she hadn't expected this. But she knew better than to plead. "Bend over the arm of the chair," her mother instructed. Brenlin obeyed, gripping the fabric of her light blue trousers. The first stroke landed with a sharp thwack. She gasped. "This is for mocking your sister," her mother said, voice steady. Another stroke. Brenlin flinched. "This is for disrespecting me." A third. Tears welled. "This is for forgetting that family isn't content. It's sacred." Emily remained by the window, unmoving. Her presence wasn't judgment, it was witness. Brenlin caught her reflection in the glass. Tear-streaked, humbled, no longer the curated influencer, just a daughter who'd gone too far. When it ended, her mother helped her up. No shouting, no shame, just a quiet embrace. "You're better than this," she murmured. "Now show us." That night, Brenlin sat on her bed, the sting in her back fading but the weight in her chest heavier than ever. She opened her phone, not to scroll but to act. First she deleted the post. Then she opened a blank note and began to write. Not for an audience but for her family. She knocked softly on Emily's door. Her sister opened it, eyes cautious. "I'm sorry," Brenlin said, voice trembling. "I turned you into a joke. You're not a meme, you're my brilliant, kind sister. I won't post anything with you in it again unless you say yes." Emily studied her face, then nodded slowly. "Okay." Brenlin handed her a handwritten letter. "Emily, I'm sorry I made you feel invisible. You deserve to be seen as you are, not as a punchline. I'll do better." Then she went to her mother, who was grading papers at the kitchen table. "I deleted it," Brenlin said. "And I'll post an apology. But more than that, I won't treat our lives like content anymore." Her mother looked up. "Why?" "Because you and Emily aren't characters in my story. You're my family." Her mother reached out and squeezed her hand. "That's all I ever wanted you to remember." The next morning, Brenlin posted a new story. A simple, unedited photo of the three of them laughing in the garden last summer. No filters. No captions. Just truth. Beneath it, she wrote, "Real moments don't need editing. Sorry for forgetting that. Love you both." She didn't check the likes. She didn't care. Instead, she joined Emily at the breakfast table, phone face down. Their mother passed the marmalade without a word, but her eyes held quiet pride. Later, as Brenlin walked to the local Sainsbury's, she noticed the way the autumn leaves crunched under her boots, how the bakery smelled of warm bread, how neighbors nodded hello without needing a filter or a caption. She didn't take a single photo, and for the first time in months she felt truly seen, not by followers but by the people who mattered most. Back at number 27, Emily stood by the bay window again, but this time she was smiling. Their mother watched from the kitchen, stirring her tea, the paddle safely back in its drawer. The house settled into its familiar rhythm. Quiet, warm, whole. Brenlin's light blue outfit hung neatly in her wardrobe, no longer a costume for performance, but simply clothes for a young woman learning that love doesn't need an audience, and that sometimes the hardest lessons come not from a screen, but from the people who refuse to let you lose yourself. Outside, London carried on, buses rumbling, leaves falling, life unfolding in unedited, unfiltered truth. And in that ordinary South London home, something rare and precious had been restored: trust.